Alright guys, and welcome back to the channel, Deck vs Japan, coming at you from Japan, hence the name, Deck vs Japan. But anyway, my girlfriend's out at the moment, so as you can see I've got my samurai sword there. She doesn't actually let me display it, but as every foreigner can attest to, having a Japanese katana is just so fucking cool. So there it is. She doesn't like it, I don't know why, but I annoy her sometimes and I just like pretend I'm a samurai and charge her. Maybe she doesn't like that bit, because it's dangerous and stupid. But yeah, anyway, it's my winter break at the moment and I've been banging out the anime left, right and centre. Recently I've been watching Tokyo Ghoul, cracking on with season 2. I'm nearing the end of season 2 of Overlord. I've started One Piece as well, the longest anime and manga series in Japan history ever, I think. I've been in Japan 5 years now, haven't watched a lot of anime, but I remember before I came to Japan, I was watching Bleach, and I was actually watching in dubbed, because I couldn't speak a word of Japanese. I'd already known that I was coming to Japan at that point, so I thought I'd try and like ingratiate myself in Japanese culture by watching Bleach. So I watched it in English, and then my friend was just like, oh no, you should watch in Japanese with the subtitles. And I was like, I don't like subtitles. But he was like, no, you gotta watch it. So I watched it, and it turned out pretty good in the end. Starting up listening to that Japanese, picking up random words here and there, especially the rude words, like when you hear idiot come up on screen and you hear the word like baka. That was also probably one of the first words I'd ever learned, baka. Also, I love how baka is like translated differently depending on the anime. Usually it means like idiot. There's like various degrees of the word baka. You can have like, with your friend, you little baka. But then you can have like, uai, bakiyaro! Which means like you proper twat. But I've watched like various animes, and like sometimes it's like baka, it means like, oh you idiot. And I forgot the anime, but one time it was like, you little shithead. So that was hilarious. So it got me thinking that there's different levels of watching anime. What levels are there? Level 1 is watching anime in English with English subs, which was me 5 years ago. Not a word of Japanese. Basically, konnichiwa, arigato in the proper like British accent. Arigato gozaimasu. Now it's kind of like arigato gozaimasu. So, I mean, it's still pretty shit. Now that does sound a bit mental. If you're watching something in English and you understand the English already, why would you need subs? That's why it's level 1. However, it would also be good, I guess, for Japanese people who are anime fans and want to learn English. Their English isn't good enough yet to just listen to the English, so they put the English subs on and that way they can listen. But for you and I who want to watch the anime, who aren't Japanese, I think this is basically level 1. I don't know, do any of you do that? Do any of you watch English dub with English subs? English and English. That's level 1. Level 2, I guess, would be still watching in English but having Japanese subs. Here's a quick tip for when you're learning Japanese. When you learn Japanese, I would recommend that you don't focus on reading or writing at all. I mean, I've lived in Japan for 5 years and I'm still neglecting them, so probably not the best advice you'll ever hear. But seriously, when you start learning Japanese, focus on the listening and speaking. So this option is kind of, I guess, a little bit cool maybe. Like, you can listen to the English, but you're kind of reading the Japanese. If you've got an interest maybe in the kanji. Some of my friends, they started learning kanji when they were like 13, just because it was like cool and like interesting, because like the way Japanese write their kanji and the story behind it and how each kanji has a meaning is obviously very interesting. So this would be level 2, a little bit more difficult, I guess. I mean, you're still listening to the English, but again, it would be great for Japanese people learning English, because now they can at least read the subtitles at the bottom, but they're listening to the English. So level 2 would be English with Japanese subs. Level 3. Now this would probably be the most popular option and the most widely watched. I guess this would be Japanese voice with English subtitles. That way you're listening to it how it was made. You're listening to the crazy Japanese voices, the "Omae, nani yatten no? Bakiyaro!" things like that. But you're getting the translation. So you can still listen to Japanese, it's cool, it's funky, it's hip, but obviously you know what's going on because you're looking at the English subtitles. So I would say that this is the most popular. Certainly when I started learning Japanese, I switched over to this option because then I could hear the Japanese, listen to the Japanese, and kind of words that I'd already known, I could then, my brain was like picking up on them suddenly. And I was like, oh yeah, I've heard that before. And then you kind of remember it that way, but you're also getting the meaning because you're reading your native language at the bottom. So yeah, that was level 3, Japanese voice with English subs. Level 4. This would be watching in Japanese with Japanese subtitles. Now this is the option that I go for. I wouldn't say that by any means I understand 100% of what I'm watching or listening, but for me it's a really good study tool. I like it because I can listen to some Japanese, and also if I find it difficult, then maybe there's another hint in the subtitles. And then likewise, if I'm reading the subtitles and I don't understand the kanji, I can listen and maybe I've heard the kanji before. So then I can kind of link what I'm listening to with what I'm reading. If it was just listening, maybe I'll understand 20%. If it was just reading, maybe I'd understand only 20%, but together I could understand a little bit more. Japanese with Japanese subtitles is a good way if you're studying Japanese. I would recommend that you need a firm grasp of the language first, like just delving straight into it. If you kind of know the days of the week and the numbers, and you're thinking, oh yeah, I'm gonna watch Japanese anime with Japanese voice and Japanese subs, probably gonna be a little bit difficult. So I'd wait until your Japanese is, at least, if you can communicate in Japanese fairly well, I would recommend this option. But yeah, it's still quite difficult for me. So that's level 4, Japanese voice and Japanese subtitles. And finally, level 5. The way the Japanese people watch Japanese is in only Japanese voice. What did you expect it to be? Of course it is. No crazy English dubs, no English subtitles, no Japanese subtitles, just the way it was made in Japanese voice. And one day I hope to get there, but for now I think I will stick to level 4. Thanks for tuning in. Let me know which level you're at. Do you watch anime? What anime do you watch? Do you watch one anime in one level and another anime in another level? I don't know, I certainly do sometimes, to be honest. Yeah, stay tuned for more videos. It's Deck vs Japan. Sayonara.